The Italian government has ordered an investigation into slurs on right-wing websites against the country's first black minister. Cecile Kyenge is an eye doctor and Congo-born Italian citizen. She was named Racial Integration Minister in the new government of Prime Minister Enrico Letta, one of 7 women in the government. Since then, Kyenge has been the subject of taunts on neo-fascist websites, and she was also the target of race-tinged remarks by a politician of the Northern League regarded as anti-immigrant and which has been aligned in the past with former Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi. Now, the case has put Italy's racial strife back into the spotlight. Joining us now to discuss this issue further is Kambale Masavuli, spokesperson of Friends of the Congo, on Skype from New York. And on the phone, Arrigo Mungini, vice president of the Italian Cultural Society of Washington, D.C., and he joins us by phone. Thank you so much, both of you gentlemen, for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I start off with you, Mr. Mungini, and your thoughts on how this is playing out and how it's raising already the issue of what some say is anti-immigrant and racial tensions in Italy by this appointment.
Well, I can give you my own perspective, which is very similar to the perspective of my organization, the Italian Cultural Society. I think that it's very fitting that a person who has undergone the immigrant experience, whatever the race, be appointed to the post that Italy has appointed Dr. Kyenge to. And I can speak about my own parents arrived in the 1920s as adults, but my mother in particular came as a U.S. citizen because she had been born in 1905 in Indian Territory, which is now Oklahoma, and my grandparents took her back to Italy when she was still an infant.
Now,
and so this is I think relevant to the kinds of legislation that Dr. Kyenge is actually sponsoring, as I understand it, which is that children of immigrants born in Italy are automatically citizens. It's like
as
what we
opposed to
do in the
waiting
US.
until they're 18, which is what is currently happening, right?
Yeah, right.
And I want to just get a thought in from Kambale, who is joining us via Skype from New York. You know, this is a fellow Congolese. How do you feel about her having such a high cabinet position? As a Congolese association, do you see yourselves reaching out to her to see how she could maybe in any way influence what's going on in your country, which has been, especially in the spotlight because of what's going on in Eastern Congo?
Yes, absolutely. It's really inspirational for many Congolese, not just our organization, to see a Congolese-born Italian citizen take a high office in politics in Italy. But I'm still cognizant that she is an Italian politician, that she has to serve the interests of her country, but she also has to think about the situation that's happening in the Congo. So we hope in some shape and form she can leverage her position to raise the profile about the challenges of the Congolese women in the eastern part of Congo. But to get back to now what she's going through, it's really unfortunate that it's happening in Italy, and I do believe it's not a vast majority of Italians who have the same mentality.
Right.
I do believe that many are not right-wing, xenophobic Italian.
Right.
The hope is that the majority of the population will clearly speak out against it, support her, and think about what's happening in the United States. We now have a black president in the United States. It shows that the United States is moving in a different direction and more integration of people. And
Absolutely.
we hope the same will happen in Italy as well.
Thank you so much, Kambale. I'm coming back to you, Mr. Mungini. And what do you think this investigation that has already been launched will help resolve? And also the fact that Kyenge, even though she's married to an Italian and has lived there for 30 years, claims still, I'm black and I'm proud.
Well, of course, she's black and she's proud and doesn't want to be categorized in any, other than being black in any way in which it would reflect on her abilities. She is apparently a respected eye doctor and, is well qualified for the job. And I think that As I understand it, though, she has been really welcomed. And in other words, there's been a lot of support for this in Italy itself. And these racist types of comments that have come from one of the parties, or maybe just a member of one of the parties, are just not typical.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Arrigo Mongini, for joining us today. And that's the Vice President of the Italian Society here in Washington. And of course, earlier we had via Skype Kambale Masavuli, who's the spokesperson of Friends of the Congo, and he joined us via Skype from New York.